Let me ask you something. You want to build a house. What's the first decision you make? You could do it yourself, buy the land, draw the plans, lay every brick with your own hands. Full control, full investment, full chaos. Or you could hire a contractor, hand over the blueprint, pay a professional, and check in at milestones. Or maybe you buy a pre-built home. Fast, simple, no construction stress. Move in, done. Hiring talent works exactly the same way. You can build it, buy it, or outsource it. And the choice you make determines your costs, your timelines, your culture, and ultimately your company's performance. Welcome back to the HR series. Last video we covered where to find candidates, recruitment sources. Today we go one level deeper, how you recruit, the types and methods of recruitment. By the end of this video, you'll understand the difference between internal and external recruitment, direct and indirect methods, and a whole range of modern recruitment approaches, including RPO, contract staffing, and online recruitment. Let's build something great. Before we dive into the individual types, let's get the framework straight. Recruitment is classified along two dimensions. Dimension 1, where do you recruit from? This gives us internal versus external recruitment. Dimension 2, how do you reach candidates? This gives us direct versus indirect versus third-party methods. And then, layered on top of these, we have a set of modern recruitment methods. RPO, contract staffing, online recruitment, employee referral programs, and more that have emerged in the last 2 decades and completely changed how hiring works. Think of it like this. If Dimension 1 is where you shop for ingredients and Dimension 2 is how you shop, do you go yourself, send someone, or order online, then modern methods are the new age delivery apps that changed shopping forever. Before Swiggy existed, you had to decide cook at home or go to the restaurant. Now there are 47 options on your phone. Recruitment has had its own Swiggy moment, and understanding all the options is the HR professional's superpower. Internal recruitment means filling a vacancy by selecting someone who already works within the organization. We covered the sources last time: promotions, transfers, IJP, referrals. Now let's talk about the type, the philosophy, and when it's the right call. Internal recruitment works best when the role requires deep company knowledge, someone who already understands your systems, culture, and customers. Speed matters. Internal hires can be onboarded in days, not months. You want to reward performance. Showing top performers there's a future here. Budget is limited. Internal moves cost a fraction of external hires. Real example, Hindustan Unilever. HUL's grow your own timber philosophy means the vast majority of their C-suite executives started as management trainees. The CEO, CFO, and most divisional heads of HUL at any given point are career insiders. This isn't an accident, it's a deliberate internal recruitment strategy built over decades. External recruitment means going to the outside market for talent. This is the default for most new roles, entry-level positions, and specialized skills that simply don't exist in-house. External recruitment works best when a genuinely new skill is needed. AI engineers, data scientists, regulatory specialists that simply don't exist in-house. The organization needs a culture shakeup. A fresh perspective from outside breaks groupthink. Scaling rapidly, no internal pool large enough to fill 200 new roles. New geographies or business lines. Entering a new market needs local knowledge. Real example, Reliance Jio. When Jio was building its 4G network from scratch in 2014 to 2016, it needed thousands of telecom engineers, network planners, and digital product managers that simply did not exist within the Reliance conglomerate in sufficient numbers. They ran one of the most aggressive external recruitment campaigns in Indian corporate history, hiring across campuses, portals, and competitors simultaneously. External recruitment is also the reason every LinkedIn user has a recruiter message sitting unread in their inbox right now. You're probably passive candidate material for 3 companies this week and don't even know it. Direct recruitment methods. Direct methods are where the company reaches out to candidates directly with no intermediary involved. Common direct methods include campus recruitment drives, walk-in interviews, company career website, LinkedIn in-mail or direct outreach, factory gate hiring. Common in manufacturing, workers recruited directly at the site. The advantage of direct methods: 100% employer brand control, lower cost, direct relationship with the candidate from day one. Real example: Infosys Campus Connect. Infosys runs a program called Campus Connect where they partner with engineering colleges year round, not just at placement season. They engage with students in their second and third years, build relationships, and by the time final placements arrive, Infosys is already the known and trusted brand. Pure direct recruitment strategy. Indirect recruitment methods. Indirect methods involve creating visibility and attracting candidates to come to you through advertising, branding, and media. The company puts the word out and candidates respond. Common indirect methods include job advertisements, newspapers, job portals, online boards like Naukri, LinkedIn posts, social media posts, company LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter job posts, employer branding campaigns like Why Work With Us content, Glassdoor management, culture videos, radio, TV, print advertising for mass hiring campaigns, retail, banks, telecom. Employer branding is why some companies' job postings get 3,000 applications and others get 30. Google posts a role and 10,000 people apply. Your startup posts the same role and 4 people apply. And one of them is your current employee's cousin who can't code. Brand is everything in indirect recruitment. Real example: Zomato. Zomato's Humans of Zomato content series, short, authentic stories about their delivery partners and employees, generates massive inbound recruitment interest. It's indirect recruitment disguised as storytelling. Brilliant. Low cost, high impact. Third-party recruitment methods. Third-party methods involve engaging external specialists, agencies, headhunters, or technology platforms to find candidates on the organization's behalf. Common third-party methods include recruitment agencies, contingency and retained search firms, executive search or headhunting firms for senior and C-suite roles, staffing companies, contract, temporary, and volume hiring, AI recruitment platforms, tools like HireVue, Carrot, iMocha that automate screening. Third-party methods are expensive but powerful, particularly for niche, senior, or urgent roles where in-house teams lack the network or bandwidth. Real example: Corn Ferry, India. When Tata Steel was looking for a new CEO after Natarajan Chandrasekharan moved to become Tata Sons chairman, they engaged Corn Ferry, a global executive search firm, to conduct the search. For roles of that criticality and visibility, you need a specialist third party with global networks and the discretion to approach employed senior executives confidentially. Recruitment process outsourcing. RPO is when a company outsources some or all of its recruitment function to an external provider. The RPO provider acts as the company's HR department for hiring purposes, using the client's brand, processes, and systems, but their own people and technology. RPO is different from using a staffing agency. A staffing agency finds candidates for you. An RPO provider becomes your recruitment team. When is RPO used? When organizations are scaling rapidly and don't have the internal HR capacity to run a large recruitment operation. When they need specialist expertise or technology. When they want to reduce recruitment costs at scale. Real example: Quest Corp's RPO. Quest Corp manages the end-to-end recruitment operations for several large Indian enterprises, from job requisition to offer rollout. When a major bank wanted to hire 5,000 branch banking staff across 15 cities in 6 months, they didn't build an internal team. They engaged Quest's RPO division. The result? Hires delivered on time at a lower cost per hire than the bank had managed internally. RPO is essentially saying our recruitment is so complex and large that we need a recruitment company just to do our recruitment, which sounds very meta. But for large-scale hiring, it's one of the most cost-effective decisions a company can make. Contract and temporary staffing. Contract staffing means hiring individuals for a defined period, a specific project, a seasonal spike, a maternity replacement, or a trial period before permanent hiring. Key characteristics: fixed duration, typically through a staffing intermediary. Employee is on the staffing firm's payroll, not the client company's. Allows flexibility without long-term commitment. This is massive in India. NASSCOM estimates that over 300,000 IT professionals in India work on contracts at any given time. The flexibility is crucial for project-based work. Real example, IT industry India. Every major IT services company, TCS, Infosys, Wipro, HCL, uses contract staffing to manage project demand fluctuations. When a new client engagement ramps up, they may need 200 Java developers within 30 days. Rather than hiring permanently, they engage staffing firms like TeamLease or Adecco who can deploy contract staff immediately, while permanent hiring proceeds in parallel. Online recruitment. Online recruitment encompasses every digital channel: job portals, company career sites, LinkedIn, social media applications, AI-powered screening tools, and virtual interview platforms. Post-COVID, online recruitment has become the default, not the alternative. Virtual interviews, digital assessments, e-offer letters, and digital onboarding are now standard practice across corporate India. Real example, HireVue and AI interviewing. Unilever's use of AI-powered video interview tool, HireVue, for graduate recruitment, mentioned in our manpower planning video, reduced their screening time by 75% and processed 250,000 candidate interviews annually. No human interviewer watched those videos first. AI analyzed facial expressions, speech patterns, and content to shortlist candidates. Online recruitment taken to its logical extreme. The AI interview experience is you're sitting alone in your room, talking to a camera, answering questions from a robot. The robot scores your facial expressions, your posture, the words you chose, and somewhere in a data center, an algorithm decides your career trajectory. Welcome to 2026. Employee referral programs. Structured programs where existing employees recommend candidates from their professional and personal networks, usually incentivized with a cash bonus when the referred candidate is hired and completes a minimum tenure, typically 3 to 6 months. We touched on this in recruitment sources. As a method, the ERP is about making referrals systematic, clear process, fair incentives, regular promotion, tracked metrics. Real example, Google's ERP. Google's employee referral program is legendary in the tech industry. Employees can refer candidates through an internal portal, track the application status in real time, and receive substantial bonuses, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars, when referrals are hired. Google consistently reports that referred candidates have shorter time to hire, better performance ratings, and longer tenure than non-referred hires. The program pays for itself many times over.
5. Poaching or raiding competitors. Also known as talent raiding, the practice of specifically targeting and recruiting employees from competitor organizations. This is legal, common, and extremely controversial when done aggressively. The logic: your competitor has already trained, developed, and proven a person. Instead of spending time and money doing the same, you offer that person a better package and move them across. Ha! Poaching is the recruitment world's equivalent of signing a rival team's best player at transfer deadline day. Everyone knows it's happening. The rival company is furious, the person gets paid more, and somehow it's perfectly legal. Just don't do it with an employment contract in hand. That's tortious interference, and HR gets very unfun very quickly. Real example, Indian tech industry. The 2021-2022 Great Resignation era saw aggressive poaching between Indian tech companies and global MNCs. Amazon, Google, and Microsoft were aggressively recruiting from TCS, Infosys, and Wipro, offering 50 to 100% salary jumps. TCS publicly stated that employee poaching was their biggest retention challenge. This triggered industry-wide salary corrections and counter-offer wars. 6. Walk-in drives and hackathons. Walk-in drives, open invitation recruitment events, particularly effective for volume hiring, BPO, retail, and banking sectors. No pre-screening. Candidates arrive, register, get assessed, and potentially offered on the day. Hackathons, competitive-based recruitment primarily used by tech companies. Candidates solve real problems over 24 to 48 hours. The best performers receive job offers. It's assessment and recruitment simultaneously. Real example, HackerEarth and HackerRank. Indian companies increasingly use hackathon platforms like HackerEarth and HackerRank to run technical hiring challenges. Flipkart's Grab-on Hiring Challenge, Amazon's ACE program, and Goldman Sachs' Espresso Coding Challenge are all examples of hackathon-based recruitment. The candidates who enter these are self-selected for technical passion. The quality of hire is significantly higher than standard portal-based screening. 7. Employer branding as a recruitment method. Employer branding is the long-term strategy of building a compelling and authentic narrative about what it's like to work at your company. Done well, it becomes your most powerful and most cost-effective recruitment method. Key elements: authentic employee testimonials, Glassdoor reputation management, award recognitions, great place to work, social media culture content, leadership thought leadership. Real example: Razorpay. Razorpay consistently ranks among India's most desired fintech employers, not because they advertise jobs aggressively, but because their engineers write about fascinating technical problems on Medium and LinkedIn. Their founders speak at conferences, and their Razorpay Life Instagram shows genuine team culture. They've built a talent brand so strong that top engineers want to work there before a single job post is published. 8. Diversity recruitment. A focused recruitment strategy specifically designed to attract candidates from underrepresented groups: women in STEM, persons with disabilities, veterans, LGBTQ+ talent, and candidates from economically weaker sections. This isn't charity, it's strategy. Research consistently shows that diverse teams outperform homogeneous ones on innovation metrics, problem solving, and business performance. Real example: Accenture India. Accenture India has a stated goal of 50% gender parity in their workforce. To achieve this, they run dedicated women in tech recruitment drives, partner with women-focused colleges, offer returnship programs for women who've taken career breaks, and have redesigned their interview processes to reduce unconscious bias. Their diversity metrics have improved significantly as a direct result of treating diversity as a recruitment method, not just a policy statement.
All right, you now know all the types and methods, but how do you decide which one to use? Here's the framework I want you to lock in. The 4 factors that drive your method choice. Factor 1, speed. How urgently do you need this hire? Walk-ins and agencies deliver fastest. Executive search takes 3 to 6 months. Factor 2, budget. What can you spend? Internal, cheapest. RPO, expensive but scalable. Agency, per hire cost. Employer branding, high upfront, low per hire over time. Factor 3, role seniority. Fresher, campus or walk-ins. Mid-level, portals and referrals. Senior, executive search. Factor 4, volume. 1 hire, direct method. 500 hires, RPO, walk-ins, mass drives. Practical scenarios. Scenario 1. You need 2 senior data scientists in the next 30 days. LinkedIn Recruiter plus contingency agency plus employee referrals. Direct plus third-party combo. Scenario 2. You're opening 50 retail stores and need 500 frontline staff over 6 months. Walk-in drives, job fairs plus RPO, volume methods. Scenario 3. Your CTO is retiring in 18 months and you need a successor. Executive search, retained, plus internal succession planning in parallel. Long horizon, high stakes. Scenario 4. You're a startup trying to attract tech talent without a brand or big budget. Employer branding plus employee referrals plus hackathons. Reputation building methods first. Ultimate insight: no single method wins every time. The best HR professionals don't have a favorite method, they have a full toolkit and the judgment to know which tool fits the job. Real example: Amazon India's multi-method approach. For their 2022 India expansion, Amazon simultaneously ran campus drives at IITs and IIMs, LinkedIn recruiter campaigns for experienced hires, an RPO arrangement with Quest Corp for warehouse operations staffing, a dedicated diversity hiring track, and an internal mobility campaign for existing Amazonians to apply for new India-based roles. 5 methods, 1 company, 1 quarter. Let's land this one. Today we covered the complete landscape of recruitment types and methods. Here's what to take away. 2 dimensions: where you recruit from, internal versus external, and how you reach candidates: direct, indirect, third party. Internal is faster and cheaper, external brings fresh perspectives and new skills. Best organizations use both strategically. Direct, reach candidates yourself. Campus, walk-in, career site, maximum brand control. Indirect, attract candidates to you. Job ads, employer branding, social media, brand dependent. Third party, use specialists, agencies, headhunters, AI platforms. Powerful but costly. Modern methods, RPO, contract staffing, online AI recruitment, ERPs, hackathons, poaching, diversity hiring, each has a specific scenario where it wins. The decision framework, speed, budget, seniority, volume. Answer these four before picking any method. Here's the big idea I want you to leave with. Recruitment isn't something that happens to you. It's something you design. The organizations that win the talent war aren't the ones who post jobs and wait. They're the ones who architect their entire recruitment approach, methodically, strategically, and creatively. If this video helped you understand recruitment at a deeper level, please like it, subscribe, and share it with someone who's building a career in HR. And tell me in the comments, which recruitment method do you think is the most underrated? I'll reply. In our next video, we're diving into recruitment preparation, how companies actually prepare before the recruitment process begins, job analysis, job descriptions, person specifications, and the competency framework. It's the foundation that makes everything else work. See you there.